Hi everybody, my name is Pearl and I'm here to share with you our daughter's journey and God's faithfulness. And the reason that we've decided to vlog her journey is because she was born with Trisomy 18, and I remember when she was born, we did not know. We didn't know before she was born. We found out the second week after she was born that she had Trisomy 18. And when we found out, the doctors told us that she would not live, she would not survive. And it was very hard for her. She was not compatible to life. She was not going to make it. Child born with that disease that survived. And I had never heard anything about Trisomy 18. I didn't know what Trisomy 18 was. And I went online to search. And what I saw was not positive at all. It was very negative. So I tried YouTube to see if I would get something positive. And I kept on searching and I did not get something really positive. So when I saw her and what she was going through, I decided, you know what? I'm gonna vlog her journey and I'm going to put her story out there. Maybe her story will encourage somebody. Maybe it will give somebody hope. Somebody could see her journey, her life, and maybe that would encourage that person. Or somebody going through something similar in life, you know. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna vlog her journey. But it's been 6 years, almost 7 years now, and I haven't done it, and I think it's time for me to do it. So we decided we're gonna do it. I was really thinking of how would I sound, how would I look, how would people, you know, take this. And I said to myself, remember when you needed hope, when you needed this, you know, had you gotten that, you would have felt better. It would have helped you. So stop thinking about what people will say, how you look, how you sound. You know, just put a story out there, even if it helped one person. So let's go. We are going to start from the beginning until we reach present day. But we're going to take you through the different stages of her journey until present day. And hopefully this will help somebody. This will encourage someone. So thank you for watching, and I hope that you're blessed. So we're going to talk about my pregnancy. I am a mother. Before the pregnancy, I am a mother of 3. I have 2 girls and 1 boy. And our last child, whilst I was pregnant with her, everything seemed good. That was such an easy pregnancy. Usually pregnancy with girls for me has always been easy. So it was very easy. She was moving, and I went to all my appointments, did all my ultrasounds, the tests we were supposed to do, and there was one test I did not do. The tests were to find out if your child has Down syndrome or any abnormality. I said no to that test. And the reason I said no to that test is because I said, even if my child has Down syndrome, I'm not going to abort my child. I'm going to keep my child. I'm going to take care of my child. So it doesn't make sense to put the child's life at risk just to do this, knowing that even if she's like that, I'm not going to give up on that child. So I declined that test. So other than that, I did all of my tests and all the ultrasounds were already finished. I was at the last stage of pregnancy, my 3rd trimester, and something in me just told me, you know what, when you go back to your appointment, your next appointment, ask your doctor for an ultrasound. I felt like something was wrong. I thought like maybe I was losing fluid, maybe just something was not right. So when I went back to my appointment, when I went to my next appointment, I asked her for an ultrasound, and she told me why. I said, I think I'm losing fluid. She said, let me check her heart rate and I will decide when I'm done. I said, okay. So she checked the heart rate. She told me the baby sounded good. The heart rate was strong and nice. But she said, okay, yeah, I'll give you the rec form and you're going to go do that test. I was very happy because my spirit was not okay. It was not right within. Inside of me, it's just like something was not right. So when she gave it to me, The place where I was doing the ultrasound, where I was doing my regular ultrasound, that place was closed already because it was the holiday season and it was already closed. So I had to find another place to go. And thank God, really thank God. Sometimes when things happen, we get so disappointed and then we are not happy. But my mom always says, every disappointment is a blessing. And it was a blessing, thank God. So I went to another place closer to my home, and my daughter went with me. And when we got there, the tech was doing the ultrasound, but then I realized she stopped in one area and she was really focused on that one spot. And I asked her, is something wrong? And she said, I can't tell you. I said, please tell me if something is wrong. She said, I cannot tell you. Then she stayed there. She was focused on that area, and then she told me she'll be right back. She got up and she left the room. When she left the room, my daughter said, Mommy, something is wrong with the baby. She's focused on the baby's heart. And I said, how do you know that's the heart area? She said, it's the heart. So I said, I think something is wrong. And to be honest with you, I started to pray because everything was going off inside of my mind. I started to pray. And then she came back. She didn't come back with somebody. She came back alone. When she came back, I said, where did you go? She said she had to talk to the doctor. I said, okay. I said, what's wrong with the baby? She said, I can't tell you. Call your doctor. No matter what I said to her, she said, call your doctor. I wasn't mad because I knew that she was not supposed to tell me, but I was really hoping maybe she would tell me something. But she did not tell me. And when she was done, I called my doctor's office. When I called the doctor's office, I got a message of a recording, and it said that she was on staff the night before at the hospital. So I decided to go to the hospital because my head is hot right now. What is going on? I thought everything was okay, and I thought I was losing fluid, but now something seems to be very wrong. So we went to the hospital. I told my daughter, let's go to the hospital to see if the doctor is still there. So we went to the hospital. It was pretty early in the morning. When we got there, I spoke to a lady, and she told me that the doctor had already left. Her shift was over and she had already left. But she asked me, why do you want to talk to her? I guess it looked strange for me to come to the hospital so early, a pregnant woman asking for the doctor. So I told her what was going on. I told her what happened, and she told me, hold on, let me call her. So she called my doctor, and the doctor told her to tell me to go home and she will call me later. Later that day, my doctor called me and she said I would have to go do a stress test. I asked her what was going on. She said the test came back that there is a lot of fluid around the baby's heart. So I said, which is what my daughter had told me, something is wrong with the heart. And the doctor told me there's a lot of fluid around the heart. So she told me she would want me to go back to the hospital to do a stress test. I said, okay. I went to the hospital to do the stress test. And when they did the test, they said there wasn't a lot of fluid around the heart. It did not look abnormal. So they sent me home. When I got home later that week, my doctor called me again, and she said, I need you to go back to the hospital to do another stress test. I was like, okay. I went back to the hospital to do another stress test. This time they did one, and they were not satisfied with the result, I suppose. They didn't tell me that, but I suppose they weren't satisfied because they told me they would send me to another hospital to do an echo on the baby's heart. So that same day they arranged, and from that hospital they sent me to the other hospital. So we went from that hospital, we went there right away. We went to the other hospital to do the test. When we got there, they did the echo, and the doctor there told us that the baby's the arch in the heart is enlarged, and she has ASDs. He explained to me what those were. So I asked him, can these things be repaired? And he was like, yeah, don't worry, we've done that a lot of times. This is nothing. You will be able to repair the heart when the baby is born. I was like, okay. I felt really good. I felt really good. I was happy about it, and we went home. But before we went, he told me I felt really good about it, and he told me, you know what, I'm gonna send you to another hospital to do another echo. So when he told me that, he told me I will send you to this children's hospital. That hospital is a step 1 hospital. So he sent me, they arranged an appointment, and the day of the appointment we went. And when we went, they did a really thorough test. That one took much longer than the others, and they asked us to wait a little bit. We waited, and then they came and told us the result. So the result from that hospital was, and it was very accurate, it was that the baby does not have an enlarged arch, neither does she have ASDs, but she has multiple VSDs. I was like, okay, what does that mean? Because I didn't know that. She told me that she had multiple VSDs, and there was one that was larger than the rest, and this one would not be able to be closed, you know, but they would have to put a patch. They would have to patch this one because it was really big. I said, okay. So they sent me home, and when I got home, we discussed it, and I just prayed. I knew that I served a God that was able, and I asked God to help, you know. So my doctor then called me again and said to me, I need you to go to the hospital. I said, what? I'm just about to do my hair. She was like, no, forget about your hair. I need you to go to the hospital now. I was like, what's going on? She said to me, we will induce labor. We will try to take the baby, right, early. And I was like, okay. So I called my husband, and I said to my husband, I think there's something really, really wrong with the baby. My husband was helping somebody, and he was standing on something, and I heard a noise, and I didn't hear my husband. So I was like, hello, are you there? Are you okay? And he was like, yeah, I'm okay. I just fell off the thing I was standing on. I just fell. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. But he said, I'm okay. What's going on? And I told him, I think something is really wrong with the baby. The doctor just called and asked me to go back to the hospital, and this time they're going to induce labor. So he said to me, okay, go, and I will meet you there. I called my daughter, who was in school. My son was in school, and I told my daughter what was going on, and I asked her to pick up her brother after school. So I went to the hospital. My husband came, and then the children came later after school. And whilst I was there, I was in a room. When I got to the hospital, they put me in a room, and I stayed there. The children came, and then they went home. So during that night, they tried to induce labor. The first time they did it, her heart rate dropped. They tried it a second time again. The second time, her heart rate dropped. So the doctor told me they wouldn't be able to continue because the baby does not want to come this way. They would have to wait until morning to do a C-section. I said, okay. We stayed there the night. The next day, in the morning, when it was supposed to be done, I was told that they would not be able to do it again in the morning, but it was scheduled for the afternoon. Later that afternoon, my doctor came to my bedside, and she told me she would be the one doing the surgery. I was happy because at least there was somebody I knew, and that was my doctor. She knew everything about us. When it was time for the surgery, they wheeled me into the OR, and they prepped me and everything, and my husband came in. Out. When they pulled the baby out, I didn't hear a sound. She did not cry. And I looked, you know, when you're on that bed, I tried to put my head on the side to see what was going on. I looked, I saw this tiny baby, and she wasn't crying. The color, maybe that was the usual color for a baby, I don't know, but she wasn't crying. And I saw many people around her, you know, trying, you know, rubbing her and doing stuff vigorously. They were trying to, I don't even know what they were doing. And then they just took her and ran out of the room with her. And nobody said nothing to us. They just took her and ran out of the room. And nobody said nothing to us. Not even my doctor. We didn't know what was going on. When I realized that nobody was saying anything to us, I said to my husband, go see where they're taking her. So my husband left. He ran out of the room. And I stayed there. They stitched me. And then they took me to recovery room. When they took me to the recovery room, a little while later, I saw my husband. He came, and When he came, he told me they took the baby to the NICU. I said, what is going on? He said they had to resuscitate her. I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't walk. And I had to stay in recovery room until I could wiggle my toes. And I had feelings back in my legs. When I had feelings in my legs, when I could wiggle my toes, they took me to a room and I stayed there. I did not see her until the next day. God is so good. But I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm gonna stop here, and then next episode will be when I saw her. Thank you for watching, and please like and comment and click on the notification bell so that you won't miss any episode. Thank you so much for watching. God bless. Grace's journey and God's faithfulness.